Yeah. Dropping through tunnels where steel fish tremble with echoes of enders forgotten by daylight. I'm tracing the pulse of a city that breathes through rusted machinery humming beneath me. I'm walking the backbone of towers collapsing inside us while shadows negotiate secrets and alleys of neon decay. I'm shifting the rhythm of gears that grind like broken memories. Twisting the skyline into distorted reflections. I'm carving my name into concrete horizons with sparks that scatter like fractured intentions. I'm holding the remnant of choices I buried in darkness, watching them flicker like dying lanterns in a small field distance. Step into the underpass, humming with danger where coded graffiti bleeds. One is across the walls, I'm running through timelines, fractured by riots and sirens, echoing like ghosts of rebellion. I'm breaking the locks on corridors, war outcasts gathering circuits of whisper resistance. I'm tuning the heartbeat of the underground, got in the lost through labyrinths, live by flickering signs. I breathe in the cold of forgotten districts, drifting like smoke through abandoned stations. I'm fearless investors, dissolving the border between survivor and sinner, and the city rewrites my silhouette. Mechanical uprising, systems are shaking. I'm tearing the chains that bind the rhythm of freedom. I'm stepping through gateways that open like sparks from overloaded wires, bursting in showers of electric defiance. I'm floating above the ruin of order, watching the fragments collide into new beginnings. I'm beacon the sun in the fractured skylines. The rebels awaken and rewrite the doctrine that governs the pulse of the metropolis evolving. Forever the spirals of fire and steel. Mechanical uprising, systems are shaking. I'm tearing the chains that bind the rhythm of freedom. I'm stepping through gateways that open like sparks from overloaded wires, bursting in showers of electric defiance. I'm floating above the ruin of order, watching the fragments collide into new beginnings. I'm reaching the summit of branches, skylines of rebels awaken and rewrite the doctrine that governs the pulse of the metropolis evolving. Forever and spirals of fire and steel. Accelerate, detonate, isolate, elevate every heartbeat, centered with the roar of vengeance. Rising in darkness, I'm in the framework of destiny as the voltage climbs in silence. I'm within pathways, hidden beneath the city with perfections of forgotten fighters. Wait for ignition. I'm shaping the future with sparks that ripple through the grid. I'm lifting in stillness, becoming the echo of a revolutionary dawn in the service of the underground. Back for the second surge into districts, where memories burn like embers beneath shattered billboards. I'm forging your path through the wreckage of choices that haunt the alleys. I'm lifting the resonance. You're igniting the circuits with devotion. I'm sending a signal to watchers, citizen realms beyond surveillance. I'm stepping through layers of concrete realities, claiming the throne is the mechanical uprising. Final descent to the spirals of smoke, igniting the night with a flare of rebellion that cuts through the skyline. I'm polishing fragments of broken actions and mixing the cadence, the friction of silence. I'm channeling currents of worry emotion that flow through the arteries of the city. I'm motion, stillness fused in the rhythm that bends the streets toward liberation. Mechanical uprising, system E18. I'm checking the chains that find me rhythm of freedom. I'm stepping through gateways that open like stars from overloaded wire, bursting in shows of electric defiance. I'm floating above the ruins of order, watching the figures collide into new beginnings. I'm reaching the sun of the fractured skies from rambles away as it rewrite the doctrine that governs the pulse of the metropolis evolving. Forever the spirals of fire and steel. Mechanical uprising, system is shaking. I'm checking the chains that bind the rhythm of freedom. I'm stepping through gateways that open like sparks from overloaded wires, bursting in showers of electric defiance. I'm floating above the ruins of order, watching the rainbows collide. New beginning, I'm reaching the summit of fractured skylines for rebel amazing and rewrite the doctrine that covers the pulse of the metropolis evolving. Forever in spirals of fire and steel.
Yeah. Rising through columns of wind that spiral like ancient spirits, whispering through the bones of forgotten temples. I'm tracing the heartbeat of a skyborn kingdom, drifting above stones that run beneath me. I'm walking the bridges of shattered constellations where fragments of starlight cleaning my footsteps. I'm bending the currents that twist like memories carved into the clouds of a fractured dawn. I'm drawing my oath into the skyline with streaks of lightning, scattering light, fractured prophecy. I'm holding the echoes of traces I made in silence, watching them shimmer like lanterns, suspended in the endless blue. Stepping to the citadel, humming with celestial tension. Moves of light falls across floating walls. I'm running through timeline, shaped by fallen guardians who voices tremble like beats and thunder. I'm breaking the seals on cheapest, no forgotten. This awakened spirals of radiant dust. I'm tuning the resonance of the upper winds, guiding the water as we drift between drifting islands. I'm breathing the chill of altitudes, untouched by mortal hands, drifting like feathers through corridors of sky fire. I'm fearless and weightless, dissolving the borders between mortal and men as the heavens redraw my silhouette. Skyward ascension, the heavens are shaking, I'm tearing the veil between gravity and will. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like wings of luminous ether bursting, thorns of radiant defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old world, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm reaching the summit of celestial cycles where titans awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the firmament, evolving forever in spirals of wind and light. Skyward ascension, the heavens are shaking, I'm feeling the fear between gravity and will. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like wings of luminous ether bursting that thorns of radiant defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old world, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm reaching the summit of celestial cycles where titans awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the firmament, evolving forever in spirals of wind and light. Accelerate, elevate, oscillate, resonate, every breath sinking with the roar. The uppercomers rising in silence. I'm bending the lattice of sky won't fade as the pressure climbs. And shimmering waves, I'm opening sanctums hidden in clouds where echoes of ancient guardians wait for awakening. I'm shaping the future with beams of light that ripple through the vault of the heavens. I'm drifting in stillness, becoming the echo of a legend reborn in the heart of the storm. Back where the second ascend into altars, where memories flow like embers suspended in the wind. I'm forging a path through the ruins of forgotten myths that clings at the edges of floating continents. I'm lifting the resonance higher, igniting the sky with devotion. I'm sending a signal to watch beyond the horizon where most sight cannot reach. I'm stepping through layers of celestial reality, claiming the throne, the skyward ascension. Final rising the spirals of dawn, igniting the heavens with a flare of awakening that cuts through the clouds. I'm polishing fragments of broken prophecy and raising the cadence to fracture the silence. I'm channeling currents of pure emotion that flow through the outer reef of the sky. I'm motion and stillness, viewed in the wisdom that bends the firmament or rebirth. Skyward ascension, heavens are shaking, I'm tearing the veil between gravity and will. I'm stepping through gravity, the boom like winds of luminous ether bursting in storms of radiant defiance. I'm roaring above the collapse of the old world, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm reaching the summit of celestial cycle where titans awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the firmament, evolving forever in the spirals of wind and light. Skyward range of the heavens are shaking, I'm tearing it veil between gravity and will. I'm stepping through gateway that bloom like flames of luminous ether bursting in thoughts of radiant defiance. I'm folding apart the collapse of the old world, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm reaching the summit of celestial cycles where titans awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the firmament, evolving forever in spirals of wind and light. White ancient child whisper through the skeletons of forgotten leviathans. I'm tracing the pulse of a summer king. I'm drifting beneath continents that tremble above me. I'm walking the arches of shadowy switch of bioluminescence. Clinking my step like fractured memories. I'm bending the currents that two cycles under to the abyss of a drowned on. I'm carving my way to the ocean's horizon with streets of blowing, jumping, scattering, and broken moments. I'm holding the remnants of voices. I'm buried in the deep, watching them flicker like lanterns, suspended in the endless dark. Stepping through the abyssal citadel, humming with silent pressure. Web rooms of algae pulse across metallic cobalt walls. I'm running through timelines, shaped by guardians who sank with the myths in the trenches of eternity. I'm breaking the seals of vaults with forgotten creatures, stir spirals of luminous dust. I'm tuning the resonance of the deep, guiding warriors who drift between drifting ruins. I'm breathing the code of depths untouched by sunlight, drifting like steel through corridors of blue fire. I'm fearless and veilless, dissolving the borders between mortal and abyssal. As the ocean redraws my silhouette, abyssal evolution, the trenches awaken. I'm tearing the veil between pressure and will. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like glowing fractures. The water bursting in pulse of radiant defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old times, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm reaching the summit of oceanic cycles where titans awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the deep, evolving forever in spirals of current and light. Abyssal evolution, the branches awaken. I'm tearing the veil between pressure and will. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like glowing fractures. In the water bursting and stones away in the fire. I'm floating above the collapse of the old tides, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm reaching the summit of oceanic cycles where titans awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the deep, evolving ever in spirals of current and light.
Accelerate, resonate, oscillate, elevate. Every heartbeat take it with the roar of shifting curves. Rising in silence, I'm bending the lattice. The brothers don't fade, it's no pressure. Clowns and shimmering waves, I'm opening second. Sitting in the trenches where echoes open. Chippy script from awakening. I'm shipping the future with pulses of light that ripple through the vault of tea. I'm drifting in still, now becoming the echo of a legend. Reborn in the heart of the ocean. Right for the second descent. Two session rays. Memories glow like images through the cold. I'm forging apart the ruins of myth that cling to the edges of summer continents. I'm lifting the resonance higher, igniting the deepest devotion. I'm sending the signal to watchers beyond the reach of mortal senses. I'm stepping through layers of abyss, so beyond the claiming the throne of the evolution. Rising. Final dive into spirals of luminance, igniting the dark with the pair of awakening. Just through the water. I'm polishing fragments of drowned prophecy and raising the cadence to fracture the sound. As I'm channeling currents of love, emotion that flow through the arteries of a deep emotion, still disputes in the rhythm. Advance the ocean toward rebirth. A profound illusion, the trenches awaken. I'm tearing the veil between panel and will. I'm stepping through waves that bloom like glowing fractures in the water, bursting and storms away in the fire. I'm floating above the collapse of the old tides, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm reaching the summit of oceanic cycles, the titan awaken and be with the young and govern the foes of the deep. We ebb and flow, and never in spirals of current. We ebb and flow, and never in spirals of current. Live and flow. A peaceful evolution, the trenches are waking. I'm tearing the veil between veteran and wheel. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like glowing fractures in the water, bursting and stones awaiting the fire. I'm floating above the collapse of the old tides, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm reaching the summit of oceanic cycles, the titans making and rewrite the law that govern the bones of the deep. Evolve and flow, wherever in spirals of current. Evolve and flow.
Where ancient winds whisper through the bones of forgotten empires. I'm tracing the pulse of a buried kingdom sleeping beneath horizons. Scorched by relentless suns, I'm walking the riches of shattered mindless with grains of glowing sand. Clinging my steps like fractured omens. I'm bending the desert currents that twist like memories carved into the heat of a dying dawn. I'm calling my power into the sky and with streaks of burning dust, scattering like broken prophecy. I'm holding the remnants of choices I left beneath the dunes, watching them flicker like land and swallow by the endless gold. Step into the sunken citadel, I'm in with silent heat, where rooms of obsidian pulse across eroded walls. I'm running through timeline shaped by warriors who finished to the storms of eternity. I'm breaking the seals on walls, I forgot to type in stirring spirals, the shuddering dust. I'm tuning the resonance of the desert, guiding wanderers who drift between ruins, swallowed by shifting sands. I'm breathing the scorch of realms untouched by mercy, drifting like ash through corridors of molten air. I'm fearless and weightless, dissolving the border between world and myth. As the desert we draw us by silhouette, doom-bound ascension, the wasteland is waking. I'm tearing the veil between heat and will. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like fractured the molten sunlight, pressing in storms of radiant defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old kingdoms, watching the fragments align into new dominion. I'm reaching the summit of desert cycles, we're titan awakening and rewrite the laws. I govern the pulse of the sands, evolving forever in power, the fire and wind. Doom-bound ascension, the wasteland is waking. Now I'm tearing the veil between me and will. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like fractured the molten sunlight, pressing the storms of radiant defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old kingdoms, walking the fragments align into new dominion. I'm reaching the summit of desert cycles, we're titan awakening and rewrite the laws. I govern the pulse of the sands, evolving forever in power, the fire and wind. Accelerate, resonate, oscillate, elevate, every heartbeat ticking with the roar of running sandstorms. I'm bending the ladders of desert fate as the pressure comes and shimmering waves. I'm opening sanctums hidden beneath the dunes, where echoes of ancient beasts wait for awakening. I'm shaping the future with pulse on the feet that ripple through the vault of the wasteland. I'm drifting in stillness, becoming the echo of a legend reborn in the heart of the storm. Back on the second march in the sanctuaries where memories glow like embers, drifting through the heat. I'm purging the path, the ruins of myths that cling to the edges of buried consequence. I'm lifting the resonance higher, igniting the desert with devotion. I'm sending a single to a church beyond the reach of mortal sight. I'm stepping through layers of scorched reality, claiming the throne of the ascension. Rising, final stride in the spirals of
sunlight, igniting the horizon with a flare awakening that cuts to the doom. I'm polishing fragments of shattered prophecy. I'm raising the cadence of fracture for silence. I'm channeling currents of raw emotion that flow through the arteries of the wasteland. I'm motion is still infused in the rhythm that bends the desert to a breath. I'm ascension, the wasteland, and breathing. I'm bearing the veil between heat and hell. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like fractures of molten sunlight, bursting in storms of radiant defiance. I'm floating up over collapse of the old kingdoms, watching the fragments align into needling. Yet I'm reaching the summit of dance. The cycles were tight and go breaking and me like the laws that govern the bolts of the sands, evolving for record of fires of fire and then move down the sanction. The wasteland is breaking down, and the veil between heat and hell. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like fractures of molten sunlight, bursting in storms of radiant defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old kingdoms, watching the fragments align into new dominion. I'm reaching the summit of when the cycles were tagging, so awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pole of the stand, evolving forever as spirals of fire and then
Walking through alleys where neon rain drips like broken cold across the ruins of forgotten districts. I'm tracing the pulse of a city wired with ghosts. I'm in beneath layers of static and steel. I'm stepping over shattered billboards with flickers of corrupted light, cling to my boots like fractured memories. I'm bending the digital colors, statues like encrypted breaths, carved into the circuitry of a dying night. I'm carving my vow into the skyline with sparks that scatter like malfunction prophecy. I'm holding the remnants of twists I buried in the dark, watching them glow like dying pixels suspended in the endless neon haze. Step into the undercity army with electric tension. Holographic sigils pulse across rusted metal walls. I'm running through timelines fractured by riots and dagger breaches echoing like ghosts of rebellion. I'm breaking the locks on bolts where forgotten algorithms stirring spirals of luminous static. I'm tuning the resonance of the grid, guiding wanderers who drip between abandoned terminals. I'm breathing the code of districts untouched by daylight. Drifting like smoke through corridors of ultraviolet fire. I'm fearless and weightless, dissolving the borders between human and machine as the city redraws my silhouette. Beyond fall rebirth, the circuits are waking. I'm tearing the veil between cold and will. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like winter screens, bursting in storms of electric defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old dead world, watching the fragments align at the new dominion. I'm reaching the summit of digital cycles with titans awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the metropolis, evolving from ever-end spirals of data and light. Beyond fall rebirth, the circuits are waking. I'm tearing the veil between cold and will. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like winter screens, bursting in storms of electric defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old networks, watching the fragments align in the new dominion. I'm reaching the summit of digital cycles where giants awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the metropolis, evolving from ever-end spirals of data and light. Accelerate, resonate, oscillate, elevate. Every heartbeat sinking with the roar, rising voltage. I'm bending the lattice of cybernetic state as the pressure climbs in shimmering waves. I'm opening sanctums hidden in the network where echoes of ancient programs wait for. We can nick on shaping the future with pulse like a light that ripple to the core of the system. I'm drifting in stillness, becoming the echo of a legend we born in the heart of the neon storm. Back for the second surge in the sanctuaries where memory glow like amber. Cutting through electric fog, I'm forging a path through ruins of mist and coded in the shadows of forgotten service. I'm lifting the resonance higher, igniting the grid with devotion. I'm sending a signal to watchers beyond the reach of mortal perception. I'm stepping through layers of digital reality, claiming the throne of the rebirth rising. I'm trying the spirals of ultraviolet dawn, igniting the sky. I'm lit the flame of awakening that cuts through brain. I'm polishing fragments of corrupted prophecy, embracing the cadence to fracture the silence. I'm channeling currents of raw emotion that flow through the arteries of the city. I'm motion and stillness fusing a rhythm that bend the neon torch. The circuits
all waking, I'm tearing the velveteen coat. And well, I'm stepping on way, they got bronze that drops on mine. First in the storms of the never defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old networks. Watching the fragments align in the new dominion. I'm reaching the fire of big little cycles with ice and bacon, and we write the law that govern the fall. See, I'm far rebirth, the circuits all waking. I'm tearing the veil between cold and well. I'm stepping through gateways, the blues are but your screen, bursting in storms of electric defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old networks, watching the fragments align in the new dominion. I'm reading the summit of digital cycles. We're trying to awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the metropolis.
Of starlight, or cosmic dust whispers through the bones of forgotten galaxies. I'm tracing the pulse of a starborn empire drifting beyond nebulae that shimmer beneath you. I'm stepping across fractured asteroids with shards of ancient light, cling to my boots like broken prophecy. I'm bending gravitation, the currents that twist like memories caught into the void of a collapsing dawn. I'm carving my vow into the event horizon with sparks scattering like dying constellations. I'm holding the remnants of traces I cast into the dark, watching them flicker like planets suspended in the infinite blast. Step into the derelict citadel, humming with cosmic tension, where holographic rooms pulse across metallic star-forged walls. I'm running through time, mind shattered by supernova. Echoes tremble like ghosts of extinct civilizations. I'm breaking the seals on vault where forgotten star beats stirring spirals of radiant dust. I'm tuning the resonance of the void, guiding wondrous with drift between drifting relics. I'm breathing the cold, the regions untouched by suns, drifting like I am moved through corridors of ultraviolet radiation. I'm fearless and weightless, dissolving the borders between mortal and cosmic as the universe redraws my silhouette. Star breaker ascension, the cosmos is waking. I'm tearing the veil between gravity and while I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like ruptured quasars, bursting in stones of stellar defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old systems, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm meeting the summit of celestial cycles where titans awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the universe, evolving from aberrant spirals of energy and light. Star breaker ascension, the cosmos is waking. I'm tearing the veil between gravity and while I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like ruptured quasars, bursting in storms of stellar defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old systems, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm reaching the summit of celestial cycles where titans awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the universe, evolving forever in spirals of energy and light. Accelerate, resonate, oscillate, elevate every heartbeat, taken with the roar of shifting star winds. I'm bending the lattice of cosmic fate as the pressure climbs in shimmering ways. I'm opening sanctums, hidden in the void where bubbles of ancient starborn guardians wait for ignition. I'm shaping the future with pulses of light that ripple through the fabric of space-time. I'm drifting in stillness, becoming the echo of a legend reborn in the heart of the cosmic storm. Back for the second drift in the sanctuaries where memories go like rumors drifting through the vacuum. I'm forging a path through ruins of lips etched into the edges of forgotten star clusters. I'm lifting the resonance higher, igniting a void with devotion. I'm sending a signal to watchers beyond the reach of mortal perception. I'm stepping through layers of cosmic reality, claiming the throne of the ascension, rising final surge in the spirals of dawn, like igniting the cosmos with the flare of awakening that cuts through the dark. I'm polishing fragments of shattered prophecy and raising a king to fracture the silence. I'm channeling currents of raw emotion that flow through the arteries of the universe. I'm motion in stillness, fusing the rhythm that bends the stars toward rebirth. Star breaker ascension, the cosmos is waking. I'm taking the veil between gravity and while I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like ruptured quasars, bursting in storms of stellar defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old systems, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm reaching the summit of celestial cycles where titan awaken and rewrite the law that govern the pulse of the universe, evolving code by code spirals of energy. Star breaker ascension, the cosmos is waking. I'm tearing the veil between gravity and while I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like ruptured quasars, bursting in storms of stellar defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old systems, watching the fragments align into new creation. I'm reaching the summit of celestial cycles where titans awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the universe, evolving forever in spirals of energy and light.
Yeah,
Drifting through corridors of concrete, where street lights flicker like dying memories burned into the night. I'm tracing the pulse of a city stitched together by crack that's folding. Whispered rumors, I'm stepping over shattered bottles, reflections of me. I'm cleaning my boots like fractured warnings. I'm bending the rhythm of valleys that twist like regrets carved into the bones of a sleepless dawn. Carving my vow into the skyline with sparks from passing trains scattering like broken promises. I'm holding the remnants of joy as I toss into the gutter, watching them glow like embers suspended in the urban dark. Yeah. Step into the underpass, I'm in with tension with faded mirrors. Pulse across graffiti scarred walls. I'm running through timelines shaped by sirens and street legends echoing like ghosts of forgotten crews. I'm breaking the locks on corners where old hustlers left their stories buried in cigarette ash. I'm pruning the heartbeat of the block, guiding wanderers who drift between abandoned storefronts. I'm breathing the cold of districts untouched by mercy, drifting like smoke through corridors of sodium lit silence. I'm fearless and restless, dissolving the borders between survivor and sinner as the city redraws my silhouette. As for resurgence, the streets are waking. I'm carrying the battle between hunger and will. I'm stepping through gateways and bloom like sparks from grinding rails, bursting in storms of raw defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old fold, watching the fragments align into new direction. I'm reaching the summit of street-born cycles where giants awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the city, evolving forever in spirals of grit and light. As for resurgence, the streets are waking. I'm daring the veil between hunger and will. I'm stepping through gateways and bloom like sparks from grinding rails, bursting in storms of raw defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of the old cold, watching the fragments align into new direction. I'm reaching the summit of spiritual cycles where giants awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the city, evolving forever in spirals of grit and light. Accelerate, resonate, oscillate, elevate every heartbeat, seeking with the roar of passing engines. I'm bending the ladders of street forge fade as the pressure chimes in, trembling maids. I'm opening sanctums, hidden in the back alleys where records of all kings wait for addition. I'm shaping the future with pulses of raw fire that ripple through the veins of the city. I'm drifting in stillness, becoming the echo of a legend reborn in the heart of the concrete storm. Yeah, back for the second bun, innocent. Your every square memories glow like embers trapped in busted metal. I'm forging a path through ruins of stories that stand to the edges of forgotten blocks. I'm lifting no resonance higher, igniting the night with devotion. I'm sending a signal to watch you beyond the reach of straight lights. I'm stepping through layers of reality, claiming the throne of the resurgence. Rising final sky, these photos of dawn, igniting the skyline with flare of awakening. It cuts through the smog. I'm polishing fragments, broken dots, and amazing like cadence, effects of the silence. I'm channeling currents of raw emotion that flow through the artery of the city of motion and stillness, cues of the rhythm that bends the streets toward. Searching the streets are waking. I'm tearing the bubble between none from the width. I'm stepping through gateways and bloom like sparks from grinding rail, with the instance of raw defiance. I'm floating above the cloud of the old cold, watching the fragments sign. It's a new direction. I'm reaching the summit of street one back of the giants and waking and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the city, evolving forever in spirals of grit and light.
Walking through midnight avenues where rain touch rhythms on rusted rooftops. I'm chasing the heartbeat of a city stitched with quiet sorrow and unspoken truths. I'm slipping past dim storefronts when neon reflections cling to puddles like fading memories. I'm bending the silence of valleys that twist like on off tops, carved in the sleepless minds. I'm carving my vow into the far gray story of the skyline, more sparks from past innovate by scattering light forgotten dreams. I'm holding the remnants of twists I left behind, watching them glow like tired embers drifting through the cold night air. Step into the underpass, humming with low end echoes, wet peeling posters breathe stories of nights that never healed. I'm running through timelines shaped by mistakes and half remembered promises, echoing like ghosts of who I used to be. I'm breaking the locks on corners where lonely hearts live, their confessions in cigarette smoke. I'm tuning the quiet pulse of the block, guiding wanderers who drift between shadows and street light halos. I'm breathing the chill of the strips, untouched by warmth, drifting like hard through corridors of muted echoes. I'm fearless and fragile, dissolving the border between who I was and who I'm becoming as the city redraws my outline. Midnight resonance, the streets are breathing. I'm tearing the veil, but keep silencing cheats. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like talk sparks from crackling poles, bursting in waves of quiet defiance. I'm floating above the fumes of old habits, watching the fragments settle into new meaning. I'm reaching the summit of night born cycles of broken souls awakening, feel like streets are breathing. I'm tearing the bed between silence and truth. I'm stepping through there with that blue like sauce bar from crack lamp post, prison in way of quiet defiance. I'm floating above the ruins of old, with watching the fragments settle in the new meaning. I'm reaching the summit of night. Born cycles were broken so far away. Can I bring back the rhythm that guides the city of all people ever? It's always a rain and light.
Excellent, we resonate, oscillate, elevate. Every heartbeat sinking with the hush of distant engines. I've been in the light, the sun, not what faded. The pressure rises in trembling ways. I'm up in sanctum, sitting for God in stairwells where echoes of old hopes wait for ignition. I'm shaping the future with pulses of sapphire that ripple through the veins of the quiet city. I'm
drifting in stillness, becoming the echo of a story reborn in the heart of the midnight star. Right for the second walk in the centuries where memories glow like dim coals resting in metal braids. I'm holding on death the ruins of moments. Etching to the edges of one that blocks. I'm lifting the resonance higher, igniting the night, the quiet devotion. I'm setting a signal to watches beyond the reach of street like glow. I'm stepping through layers of urban stillness, claiming the throne of the weaponless rising. Final stride in the spirals of dawn light, pushing the skyline with us off the awakening cuts through the haze. I'm polishing fragments of broken patterns and raising the cadence to fracture the silence. I channeling comments of all a moment that flow through the arteries of the city. I'm most in the stillness. Excuse that a rhythm that bends the streets to war renewal. Midnight vision as the streets are freezing. I'm tearing the veil between islands and truth. I'm stretching through gateway that blue like sauce. Far from crackland goes, bursting in weight of white and blue to science. I'm pulling above, doing the full habits. Searching the sadness, settlements, the new meaning. I'm reaching the summit of life on cycle with moments so low. Waking and rewrite the rhythm that guide the city of all make governments power over brain and mind. Midnight feeling the sleep for breathing. I'm bearing no bed between south of the two. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like soft sparks from cracked my face and in bed, I'm dumbing the bit of the silence and truth. I'm stepping through gateways that bloom like soft sparks from cracked and goes, bursting in wave of riot, dead defiance. I'm soaring above the ruin of old habits, fortune the frame I settle into new meaning. Driven through concrete corridors where street lights buzz like dying circuits in the fog. I'm tracing the pulse of a city, stitched with cold ambition and whispered threats. I'm stepping past shattered bottles where neon reflections cleaning my cracks like coded warnings. I'm bending the rhythm of valleys that twist like grudges carved into the bones of a sleepless block. I'm carving my bow into the skyline with sparks from passing rails, scattering like broken loyalties. I'm holding the remnants of choices I trapped in the gutter, watching them glow like embers floating in the midnight grime. Stepping to the underpass, humming with tension where graffiti bleeds stories across cracked brick walls. I'm running through timeline shaped by sirens and street nymphs echoing like ghosts of crews long gone. I'm breaking the locks on corners where old kings left their lessons buried in ash and rain. I'm tuning the heartbeat of the air state, guiding wanderers who drift between shuttered shops and shallow stairwells. I'm bleeding the frost of districts untouched by mercy, drift on like smoke through corridors lit by flickering lamps. I'm fearless and sharp and dissolving the borders between sinner and survivor as the city redraws my silhouette. Concrete real ascension, the streets are shifting. I'm tearing the veil between hunger and instinct. I'm stepping through gateways that spark like knives on metal, bursting in storms of raw defiance. I'm floating above the collapsible codes, watching the fragments align into new order. I'm reaching the summit of blackborn cycles where giants awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the borough, revolving forever in spirals of grit and steel. Concrete drill ascension, the streets are shifting. I'm tearing the veil between hunger and instinct. I'm stepping through gateways that spark like knives on metal, bursting in stones of raw defiance. I'm floating above the collapsible codes, watching the fragments align into new order. I'm reaching the summit of blackborn cycles where giants awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the borough, revolving forever in spirals of grit and steel. Accelerate, resonate, oscillate, elevate. Every heartbeat sinking with the rumble of distant engines. I'm bending the ladders up, street force fade as the pressure climbs in trembling waves. I'm opening sanctums, hidden in stairwells where echoes of old legends wait for ignition. I'm shaping the future with pulses of cold fire that ripple through the veins of the estate. I'm drifting in stillness, becoming the echo of a name, reborn in the heart of the concrete
restart. Back for the second, watching the centuries, where memories close like coals, trapped in busted frames. I'm forging a path through ruins of stories, etched into the edges of forgotten bows. I'm lifting the resonant fire, igniting the night with sharpened devotion. I'm sending a signal to watch us beyond the reach of CCTV, baby, play. I'm stepping through layers of urban reality, claiming the throne of the ascension, rising vital, striding into spirals with dull lights, slicing the skyline with a flare that cuts through the smog. I'm polishing remnants of broken doctrine, embracing decadent the fracture, the silence. I'm channeling currents of all emotion that flow through the arteries of the block. All motion and stillness fused in a rhythm that bends the streets toward rebirth. Rocket killer Satan's free for shifting. I'm tearing the veil between hunger and instinct. I'm stepping through gateways of spark like knife, or metal busted in, store the raw defiance. I'm floating above the collapse, gold, working the fragrance alliance, a new order. I'm reaching me, I'm in the platform cycles were giant, making it revive the law that covering the boat of the Bible. We copy some reverence spirals so free and still.
Yeah. Moving through shadowland pavements where broken lamps, I'm like dire-wise in the rain. I'm tracing the heartbeat of a borrowed stitch with cold motives and a spoken vendettas. I'm stepping past cracked windows when neon goes cling to my soul's like coated threads. I'm bending the pulse of back streets that twist like ridges carved into the marrow of long nights. I'm carving my oath into the skyline, the sparks I'm skidding rails, scattering like shattered alliances. I'm holding the remnants of choices I buried in stairwell corners, watching them glow like embers drifting through the diesel soaked dark. Step into the estate, humming with pressure, wet peeling murals, bleed warnings across 10 concrete. I'm running through town like shaped by sirens and whispered names echoing like ghosts of cruiser race. I'm breaking the locks on rooftops where old kings left their troops etched in busted smoke. I'm tuning the cold rhythm of the block pattern owners who drift between shuttered flats and flickering corridors. I'm breathing the frost of zones untouched by mercy, drifting like fog through alleys lit by trembling bulbs. I'm fearless and sharpened, dissolving the borders between hunted and hardened as the city redraw. My silhouette shadow block requiem, the streets are shifting. I'm tearing the veil between instinct and survival. I'm stepping through gateways that spark like steel on pavement, bursting in storms of our defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of all loyalties, watching the fragments align into new order. I'm reaching the summit, the block more cycles where giants awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the borough, evolving forever in spirals of smoking still. Shadow block breaking and the streets are shifting. I'm tearing the veil between instinct and survival. I'm stepping through gateways that spark like steel on pavement, bursting in storms of raw defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of all loyalties, watching the fragments align into new order. I'm reaching the summit, the block on cycles where giants awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the border, evolving forever in spirals of smoking still.
Accelerate, resonate, isolate, elevate every heartbeat, sinking with the growl of distant engines. I'm in the letters of might forge fetish attention, crimes and trembling weight. I'm opening sanctums, hidden in town where blocks white echoes of old legends. Wait for ignition, I'm shaping the future with pulses of cold flame. To bubble through the veins of the estate, I'm drifting in stillness, becoming the echo of a name reborn in the heart of the concrete storm. Like for the second, sweep through centuries, while memories glow like coals trapped behind metal braids. I'm forging the path to go into stories, etched into the edges of forgotten bubble lines. I'm living the resonance high every night in the night with sharpened devotion. I'm sending a signal to watchers beyond the reach of CCTV shadows. I'm stepping through layers of urban silence, playing the throne of the requiem, rising. Final stride in the spirals of dawn nights, ice in the skyline with a cold awakening that cuts through in the haze. I'm polishing fragments of fractured doctrine, amazing the cadence to shatter the quiet. I'm channeling currents of raw emotion that flow through the arteries of the block of motion and stillness fused on a rhythm that bends the streets of war rebirth. Shadow block requiem, the streets are shifting. I'm tearing the veil between instinct and survival. I'm leaping through gateway that's what like steel on pavement, hurting in stones of rare defiance. I'm flaring up off the collapse of loyalty, watching the fragments align into new order. I'm reaching the summit, the block on cycle where giants awaken and rewrite them. You're the gun, the pulse of the borough, evolving forever in spirals, the smoking still.
Walking through wine drive ain't back streets. Where flickering lamps buzz like broken circuits in the list. I'm tracing the pulse of a barbed wire with silent grudges and unspoken crossfires. I'm stepping past boarded windows where neon shadows cling to my souls like encrypted warnings. I've been in the temporal valleys that twist like cold betrayals. Carving to the marrow of sleepless nights. I'm carving my hope into the skyline with sparks from grinding rails. Scattering like fractured alliances. I'm holding the remnants of choices I left in stairwell corners. Watching them glow like dying embers. Drifting through the petrol restained dark. Step into the tower, black summer with pressure where peeling mirrors before cutting names across down concrete. I'm running through timelines, shaped by sirens and coded whispers, echoing like ghosts of cruiser braced. I'm breaking the locks on rooftops, where fallen kings left their truth, etched in rust and rain. I'm tuning the core rhythm of the estate, guiding on a zoo, drip between shredded flags and trembling corridors. I'm within the froster zones, untouched by mercy, drifting like smoke through bellies lit by trembling bulbs. I'm fearless and sharp and dissolving the borders between hunted and hardened as the city we draw. My silhouette, I'm rain, tearing out the streets are shifting. I'm tipping the veil between the instinct and consequence. I'm stepping through gateways and spark like a deal on concrete, twisted in storm of broad defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of all loyalties, watching the private align in the new doctrine. I'm reaching the summit of blood-born cycles where giants awakening. Rewrite the odds that govern the pulse of the furrow of all before never-ends levels of smoke and iron. I'm rain, covering up the streets are shifting. I'm stepping the veil between instinct and consequence. I'm stepping through gateways and spark like steel on concrete, twisted in storms of broad defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of all loyalties, watching the fragments align into new doctrine. I'm reaching the top of the black-born cycles where giants awakening. Rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the furrow of all before never-ends spirals of smoke and iron.
Accelerate, resonate, oscillate, elevate every heartbeat. Take it with the ground of this skin inches. I'm in at the lattice of night, forge fate as the tension climbs in trembling waves. I'm open in sanctums, in sterile shadows where echoes of old legends wait for ignition. I'm shaping the future with pulses of cold flame that ripple through the veins of the estate. I'm drifting in still, becoming the echo of a name reborn in the heart of the concrete stone. Hey, back for the second, sweep through sanctuaries where memories glow like coals. Trapped behind metal weights, I'm forging the path to ruins of stories etched into the edges of forgotten myrtle lines. I'm lifting the resonance higher, igniting the night with sharp devotion. I'm sending a signal to watch it beyond the beach of CCTV shadows. I'm stepping through layers of urban silence, claiming the throne of the paradise rising. Final stride in the spiral, dawn light slicing the skyline with the cold awakening that cuts through the haze. I'm poshing fragments of fractured doctrine, amazing the cadence to shatter the quiet. I'm channeling currents of raw emotion that flow through the arteries of the black. I'm motion, the stillness fusing the rhythm that bends the streets to rebirth. I'm tearing out the streets are shifting. I'm tripping the ball between instant and consequence of typical gateways and spark like steel on concrete, wasting its stones of raw. There's giants, I'm burning the bolt of a lapse of hope. Your beats watching the factors align. It's a new doctrine. I'm reaching the summit of black-born cycles where giants awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the burrow. Evolving from rubber and bubbles of smoke and iron. Hey.
Yeah. Gliding through bricky corridors with deadlands buzz like blitzing circuits in the rain. I'm tracking the heartbeat of the end, stitched with cold motives and best silent vendettas. I'm stepping past smash bottles when the young goes cling to my crabs like coded threats. I'm bending the pulse of alleyways that twist like a beef garden to the marrow along nights. I mention my oath into the skyline with spots from skid and brush scattering like broken mandem ties. I'm holding the remnants of choices I dash and still more corners watching them glow like embers drifting through the diesel stained dark. Step into the estate, humming with pressure with faded murals, bleed warnings across that concrete. I'm running through timeline shaped by fed sirens and whispered names echoing like ghosts of crews like bleed. I'm cracking the locks on rooftops for old dawns, left the truth fetched in rust and smoke. I'm tuning the cold rhythm of the blackout and YouTube rip between shutter flats and shadows. Stay rest, I'm breathing the frost zones and touch my mercy, drifting like smoke through alleys. Lip, I flicker rainbows and fearless and pattern, dissolving the borders between hunted hardened as the burrow redraws my silhouette. Bricky shadow of sandy ends, the sifting. I'm tearing the veil between instinct and survival. I'm stepping through gateway, the spark like steel on pavement, bursting in storms of raw defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of all loyalties, watching the fragments align into new order. I'm reaching the summit of black-born cycles where giants awaken and rewrite the law that govern the pulse of the burrow evolving. Forever inspired with the smoke and iron. Breaking shadow of the ends of shit, then I'm tearing the veil between instinct and survival. I'm stepping through gateway, a spark like steel on pavement, bursting in storms of raw defiance. I'm floating above the collapse of all loyalties, watching the fragments align into new order. I'm reaching the summit of black-born cycles where giants awaken and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the burrow evolving. Forever inspired with the smoke and iron. Accelerate, resonate, oscillate, elevate every heartbeat, singing with the ground up, distant engines. I'm bending the lattice and night forge fade as the tension climbs in trembling waves. I'm opening sanctums, hidden in tower blocks where echoes of old times wait for ignition. I'm shaping the future with pulses of cold fame that ripple through the veins of the estate. I'm drifting in stillness, becoming the echo of a name, reborn the heart of the concrete storm. Back for the second climb through sanctuaries where memories glow like coals. Trapped beyond metal grates, I'm carving a path through ruins of stories, tested to the edges of forgotten mortal lines. I'm hitting the resonance higher, shelling the night with sharp devotion. I'm sending a signal to watchers, looking beyond the reach of CCTV glare. I'm stepping through layers of urban silence, claiming the fruit of the yes and wasn't. Final stride in the spirals of dawn light, slicing the skyline with a cold awakening. Echoes through the haze, I'm polishing fragments of fractured doctrine, amazing the cadence, the shatter, the quiet. I'm channeling currents of raw emotion that flow through the arteries of a block. I'm motion and stillness, fusing the rhythm that bends the edge toward rebirth. Freaky shadow of sentience, so shifting the death in the bed between instinct and survival. Stepping through gateways that spark, I still I'm paving. Bursting in songs of all the defiance, I'm floating the book of collectible royalties. Watching the film, it's aligning to new order. I'm reaching the summit, the rock on cycles, but giants awaken and rewrite the war. Recovering the pulse of the cover, we're born. Forever a star on the smoking night. Shadow of sentience, the shit that I'm tearing the veil between instinct and survival. Stepping through gateways that spark, I still I'm paving. Burning the storms of all the minds, I'm throwing the bug like a lax of royalties. Riding the fragments aligning to you order. I'm reaching the summit, I'm not on cycles, but giants awaken.
Lurking through breaking back roads where dead lamps flicker like glitching fast cams in the rain. I'm tracking the heartbeat of an instant with cold agendas and bare silent violations. I'm stepping past mass tens where neon shadows cling to my crepes like coded warnings. I'm bending the tempo with valid ways to twist like old eye beef, car deep in the mirror of long nights. I'm matching my oath into the skyline with sparks from grinding. Rails scattering like man, them signs don't peak. I'm holding up mental choices. I dashed in stairwell corners, watching them glow like ambush, drifting through petrol soaked fall. Yeah. Step into the estate, humming with pusher where crack needles bleed. Man's history across damn concrete. I'm running through timelines shaped by feds. Sirens and brothers whispering names like ghosts of crews wipe clean. I'm cracking the locks on rooftops where old dons left the codes etched in rusted smoke. I'm tuning the cold rhythm of the block ID. You two like between shoulder flats and shadow stairwells. I'm breathing the froster zones untouched by mercy. Drifting like smoke through ideas that by trembling bulbs. I'm fearless and patternless, solving the borders between hunted and hardened as the board redraws my silhouette. Man down boy, chronicles the ends are shifting. I'm tapping the veil between instinct and survival. I'm stepping through gateways that spark like steel on pavement, bursting in storms of broad defiance. I'm floating above the collapsible loyalties, watching the fragments aligning to new doctrine. I'm reaching the summit of block-born cycles for giants awakening and rewrite the laws that govern the pulse of the borough, evolving forever in spirals of smoking iron. And boy, chronicles the ends are shifting. I'm tearing the veil between instinct and survival. I'm stepping through gateways that spark like steel on pavement, bursting in storms of broad defiance. I'm floating above the collapsible loyalties, watching the fragments aligning to new doctrine. I'm reaching the summit of block-born cycles where giants awaken and we write the laws that govern the pulse of the borough, evolving forever in spirals of smoking iron. Accelerate, resonate, oscillate, elevate every heartbeat, singing with the ground of stolen engines. I'm bending the lattice of night forge fade as the tension climbs in trembling waves. I'm opening sanctums, sitting in tower blocks for echoes of old dawns, wait for ignition. I'm shaping the future with pulses of cold finger ripples through the veins of the estate. I'm drifting in stillness, think I'm in the echo of a name reborn in the heart of the concrete storm. Back for the second glide through sanctuaries where memories glow like coals. Trapped behind metal grates, on carving the path through public rooms where old stories cling to the edges like smoke. I'm lifting the resonance higher, shedding the night gray sharp in devotion. I'm sending a signal to watchers looking beyond CCTV clip. I'm stepping through layers of urban silence, giving the throne of the chronicles rising. Final stride in spirals of door lights slice in the skyline. With the cold awakening that cuts through the haze. I'm polishing fragments of fractured doctrine, embracing the cages to shatter go quiet. I'm channeling currents of war emotion that flow through the arteries of the block. I'm motion in stillness, fused in a rhythm that bends it. It's for rebirth and the void. Chronicles the ends are shifting. I'm turning the veil between instinct and survival. I'm slipping through gateways that's hard like chill. I'm aiming, bursting in storms of broad defiance. I'm floating above the collapsible. You're deep, working the fragments, aligning to new doctrine. I'm mind to the limit by board cycles with giants awaken and rewrite the law that govern the coast of the bird of walls and front. Other inspirals are spoken. I'm a man done void. Chronicles their own are shifting. I'm tearing the veil between infinite survival. I'm separate gateways that's hard like steel on pavement. Pressing in storm, the body fire. My coat and above the collapsible orgies. Watch the guide misalignment to new doctrine. I'm reaching the subway, the back going cycle. Regenerates awakening, free, break a lost that cover the pains of her. Burning the ball and forever inspired was a snake and island. Man gun for you, pineapples the ends are shifting. I'm tearing the veil between us and the survival. I'm feeling good, Jay, places hard like steel. On pavement, busting in stones apart. Can't fire, so I'm floating above the collapsible orgies. Watching the fragments aligning. New dot, and I'm reaching the cover that I know inside. Cause my finest are breaking every weather. All that got to the pulse of the
Yeah. Got into worky back roads, dead lamps glitching like fizz cans in the rain. Man, striking the heartbeat to the end stitch. Recall the gender's best silent violations. I'm stepping past man's tins, neon shadows clinging to my grips like the threads. I'm bending the tempo of alleyways, twisting like old beef carved deep in the marrow. On nights that never sleep, I'm edging my oath into the skyline. Sparks from grinding rails, scattering like man, them ties gone geek. I'm holding remnants of choices, dashing sterile corners, glowing like embers drifting through petrol fog. Dieselly dark concrete, breathe the mining. Step in the and stay humming, pressure mirrors bleeding, warnings across that concrete. I'm running time unshaped by fed cyphers, brothers whispering names like those of crews wipe clean. I'm packing locks on rooftops while old Dons left cold, touching rust, smoke memory. I'm tuning the cold rhythm of the block, guiding you circle between shuttered flash, shadowed stairwells. I'm breathing frost the zones, untouched by mercy, tripping like smoke through alleys lit by trimmed balls. I'm fearless, patterns sharp and dissolving, borders between haunted art and there's the bar. Redraw my silhouette in real time. We run the overload in, shift the mess, tearing the veil between instincts. Survival, stepping through gateways, parking like steel on pavement, bursting the storms of bar defiance, floating above collapsible loyalties. Fragments aligning into new doctrine, reaching the summit of block cycles. Giants awaken, rewriting laws, governing the pulse of the burrow, evolving from reverent barrels of smoke, iron pressure. We run the overload in, shifting mess, tearing the veil between instincts. Survival, stepping through gateways, sparking like steel on pavement, bursting the storms of bar defiance, floating above collapsible loyalties. Fragments aligning into new doctrine, reaching the summit of block cycles. Giants awaken, rewriting laws, governing the pulse of the burrow, evolving from reverent spirals of smoke, iron passion. Accelerate, resonate, oscillate, elevate, heartbeat sinking with growlers, stolen engines, bending the lattice of night, forge fate, tension climbing in trembling waves, open the sanctums and downward blocks, echo of old dawns, waiting ignition, shaping the future with cold flame, pulses ripple through a state vein, stripping the stillness, becoming the echo of a name, reborn in concrete thunderstorm. Back for the second glide, sanctuaries, memories glow like cold behind, idle grace, carving a path through Roman ruins, stories swinging the edges like smoke, living resonance, higher shell in the night with sharpened devotion, sending signals to watch and looking beyond CCTV glare, stepping through layers of urban silence, claiming the throne of the overload, rising no press, no break, no doubt, final stride, dawn light, slicing skyline, cold awakening, cutting haze, color shift fragments of fractured doctrine, raising cadence of shadow, quiet, channeling currents of flow and motion, going the arteries of the block motion, stillness fusing rhythm, bending the end, story burning, pressure building a pause, no mercy, no retreat. Waving an overloading, something is skimming the veil between instincts. Survival, stepping through gateways, sparking like steel on baby, pushing the storms of all divine, floating above collapsible loyalties. Fragments aligning into new doctrine, reaching the summit of block one cycle. Giant, away from rewriting laws, jumping in the pulse of the burrows, evolving from every spiral, the smoke, iron pressure. Boy, man, I'm overloading, shifting and killing the veil between instincts. Survival, stepping through gateways, sparking like steel on pavement, pushing the storms of war defiance, floating above collapsible loyalties. Fragments aligning into new doctrine, reaching the summit of block one cycle. Giants.
Block back streets, dead lane, pushing like hex fest, cams in the rain man, cracking the pulse of the end stitch with cold agendas, best silent violations, stepping past smash tents, neon shadows swinging through my cribs like cold crabs, bending new tempo, fatty weights, twisting like hot beef, car beef, and marrow of nights that never breathe, etching my oaths in the skyline, sparks from running rails, scattering light, man, I'm times on peak, code and ram, it's the choices, dashing stairwell, colors going night, gammas drifting through petrol, fog, diesel, dark, green, humming, line, ain't no red. no break, no mercy. Step in the estate, humming pressure murals. Bleeding on his across skin, concrete. Running timeline, shake by feds, orange butters. Whispering names like ghosts of crews, white clean. Cracking locks on rooftops with old guns left cold. Etched in rust, smoke memory, tuning the cold rhythm of block. Guiding youths, lurking between shutter flat shadow sailbills, breathing frost of zones untouched by mercy. Dripping like smoke through alleys lit by trembling bolts. Fearless patterns, sharpened, dissolving borders between hunted. Art and bubble, redrawn my silhouette in real time. No pause, no air, no slack. I can glide overloaded, shipping that hair in the veil. Between spins, survival, stepping through gateways, sparkling like sail on pavement, bursting in storms of war defiance. Floating above collapsible loyalties, fragments aligning into new doctrine. Reaching summit of blackbone cycles, giants, so I can rewrite laws. Government postal, burry, rolling, public for inspire rules of smoke, iron pressure, fancy, glide overloaded, shipping that hair in the veil. Between spins, survival, stepping through gateways, sparkling like sail on pavement, bursting in storms of war defiance. Floating above collapsible loyalties, fragments aligning into new doctrine. Reaching summit of blackbone cycles, giants, so I can rewrite laws. Government postal, burry, rolling, forever inspire rules of smoke, iron pressure, velocity. Latilate, resonate, oscillate, elevate, heartbeat, sinking with growlers, stolen engines, bending lattice, soft night, force, fake tension, climbing, trembling waves, opening sanctums, entire blocks, echoes of old dawns, waiting, ignite, shaping future with cold flame, pulses, ripple with state things, drifting in stillness, speed calming, echo of a name reborn in concrete thunderstorm. No wrath, no star, no fall back for second glide, sanctuaries, memories low like coals behind metal grace, hurrying path through bubble winds, stories singing to edges like smoke. If it was an entire shining night was sharp in the ocean, sending signals to what you're trucking beyond CCTV glance. 7 new layers of urban silence, clearing tone up, hyper glide rising. No breath, no break, no doubt, no fear. Final stride, all night sights and skyline, cold awakening, cutting haze. Polishing fragments of fractured doctrinal basement, into shatter, quiet, channeling currents of our emotion, flowing through arteries of our motion. Stillness fused in rhythm, bending in story, firm pressure, building no walls, no mercy, no retreat. Lousy stacking till concrete shade. I forgot overloaded, see the man's head in the veil. Exceeding survival, stepping through gateways, talking like steel. Pavement, immersing in stones of all the fires, floating above collapsible she's starting to locking into new doctrine. Reaching some of the block on icon giants, so we can rewrite laws. Filling in poster, but I be roving, forever inspire, molder, more kind pressure, velocity. I forgot overloaded, shifting and standing in the veil. Between and stand the Bible, stepping through gateways, walking like sail on bandit, bursting in souls of all the science, so plugged up high, affable loyalty, striping the lining and brand new doctrine. Reaching some of the black on cycles, giants, so we can be by law. Loving closer, revolving, forever inspire, rose of more kind pressure, velocity. I forgot overloaded, shifting man, sipping man, face, stand, survival, stepping through gateways, working like sail on pavement, bursting in souls of all the science, so plugged up the affable loyalty, striping the lining into new doctrine. Reaching some of the black on cycles, giants, so I can be by law. Covenant, bolster, revolving, forever inspire, rose of more kind pressure, velocity.